Greetings, everybody, and a warm welcome to you from Shell Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas. It is a big one, match week 19 in MLS Next Pro. It's a Texas derby as Houston Dynamo 2 plays host to North Texas SC. Sean St. Jacques, our entire crew, happy to have you with us. Houston, under Kenny Bundy's tutelage, trying to continue to jump up the Western Conference table, while North Texas looks to push for the top record in all of MLS Next Pro. We'll look at the standings in a moment, but there's bragging rights on the line tonight. One of the great rivalries we have in not just MLS Next Pro, but in MLS as a whole, taking place tonight in H-Town. Again, this one means a lot in the Western Conference standings. North Texas is still battling tooth and nail with St. Louis at the top of the Western Conference table. For Houston, if they can win in the 90 minutes tonight, they have a chance to get a couple of opportunities, actually, to jump over not one, but two teams in the Western Conference as they try to continue to push for a playoff spot. And Houston always tends to be in that mix. Here is the Houston lineup under coach Kenny Bundy. Oodles of talent to tell you about. Isaiah Reed and Gabriel Segal will lead the front line. Diego Gonzalez captains the side in the midfield, alongside Jefferson Valverde and Josue Souza as well. Femi Awadesu and Jefferson Medina key cogs in defense, and Nico Hansen gets the start between the sticks for a Houston team trying to continue their strong performances against their arch rivals. Interim coach Michel Garbini's North Texas side looks like this. Diego Pepe and Malik Henry Scott, two key cogs in the attack. Diego Garcia and Mads Westergrain will anchor things in the midfield, but it's a really talented back line. Nico Gordon captains the side alongside Turner Humphrey as the center backs. Abdul Zane and Malachi Molina are the outside backs. And one of the Goalie Wars participants, Michael Colodi, gets the start in goal tonight. Moments away from kick between these two arch rivals. Houston leads the all-time series with 3 victories in the 7 prior meetings, and they've won 2 of the prior 3 meetings in penalty shootouts as well. So North Texas has a bit of a chip on their shoulder tonight, hoping to get what would be just their second ever win at the hands of Houston Dynamo 2. Look back at the history of this fixture. The games are tight, they're dramatic, and tend to be high scoring as well. April 28th was the last time these two teams met. It was in the North Texas part of things. In Frisco, it was a 2-2 draw that ended with North Texas winning on penalties 5-4. That was their first ever win in a shootout scenario in Next Pro over their hated rivals. Again, bragging rights on the line, but of course, standing super important between these two teams that are filled with talent. North Texas comes in with one of the best defensive records, if not the best defensive stats in Next Pro. Houston hoping that they're peaking at the right time after taking out another in-state rival in defending champions Austin last time out. They'd love nothing more than to do a Texas double, with North Texas being their latest victim. Michel Garbini's group, they had an unbeaten run of 7 games going into their last game, but Eric Boucher's group, Colorado Rapids 2, defeated them by 2-0. So they'll be looking to bounce back and be looking to take down Houston tonight. Dynamo Dos, in their purple and orange kits, get us started. They'll be going from right to left at Shell Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas. Happy to have you with us here for this one. Sean St. Jacques, our entire crew, and we're very thrilled to see how this one is going to play out. See there, Collins Guitao is our center official, and we are off and running from the Lone Star State. As they say around these parts, town isn't big enough for both of them. Someone is gonna have to take the initiative and gain the bragging rights in the latest edition of this wonderful Next Pro rivalry that always seems to deliver, with both teams in the thick of things for the playoffs. As we get towards the end of the month of July, it's just got a little bit of added spice, and it's just the way we want it. Ball goes back to Nico Hansen, who's in goal tonight for Houston. He's had a solid season. Again, Dynamo coming in 10th in the West. Picked up just their second home win of the season. Last time out against defending champs Austin. They'd love to add another one on there tonight as we get a first look at Michael Collodi, who will, of course, be competing in the MLS All-Star Skills Challenge in Columbus. In the goalie wars, one of four, of course, MLS Next Pro goalkeepers will be competing in the event. I believe he chose Stas Lapkus of Columbus Crew 2 for his first round matchup. That's going to be pretty stiff competition. Jean Antoine of Chattanooga FC. Chikon Chituru Odunze of Crown Legacy. Of course, Crown Legacy currently have the title in goalie wars. Isaac Walker has the crown, I should say the belt. We'll see if Crown Legacy can hold on to things as far as that title is concerned. Nice control here from North Texas to play through the purple shirts and keep possession. This is Turner Humphrey, is forced back, and Collodi under pressure sends it ahead. You hear coaches that are involved in rivalry games talk about it all the time. A fast start is always the goal on nights like this when your rival opposition comes to town. We'll see if Houston can do that here. Decent ball down the far side, but the offside flag is up against Matteo Di Morelli. There's the aforementioned Mads Westergrain. He's going to be important tonight for a North Texas side that have been so good defensively this season. They have the least goals conceded in MLS Next Pro, just 14 to this point in the campaign. That's really impressive, and 6 clean sheets on top of that. And of course, the numbers for North Texas when they score first in particular, speaking of fast starts, are very good. They haven't lost this season when they've taken the first lead. 8 wins and 3 ties in the 11 occasions that has happened. And on top of that, and for those that have followed the league, this has been a stat that's been building for most of the season, even when John Gall was in charge before getting promoted to the FC Dallas coaching staff with the first team. North Texas, 5 wins in 8 road games this season as Houston wins a free kick. They've outscored their opponents 16-5 on the road this season. Really impressive numbers away from home for this talented North Texas contingent. Here's Tate Schmidt for Dynamo Dos. Jefferson Medina, some pressure here from North Texas. And Daniel Baran nearly got on the end of that for the visitors, but Houston gets it further up the pitch. And it's just going to roll out of play. Plus, Di Morelli couldn't quite control it. Going to be a throw-in for North Texas. It was, again, April 28th. Last time these two met, it was a 2-1 lead late for Houston. But it ended up being a late goal to get the equalizer. Kieran Sargent. The huge goal at the end, I should say, for Houston. Allowed them to tie it up late, but North Texas grabbed the additional point, 5-4 on penalties. There's always seemingly multiple twists and turns in this game, in this fixture over the years. A lot of high-scoring games, lots of drama. course, there was plenty of penalty drama in the last meeting. Good pressure on this near side. This time Houston trying to ramp up the heat. Jefferson Valverde helping out. Colodi, not once but twice, gets a boot onto it and clears the lines for North Texas. This is Diego Pepe trying to get on the end of that, but he's beaten to it by Tate Schmidt. Near side. There's a chance to turn there. Did the ball go out of play? Well, Michel Garbini certainly thought so. Assistant says no. Tate Schmidt kept it in. Houston keeps possession. Mentioned Diego Pepe earlier. Of course, he's the younger brother of Ricardo Pepe, U.S. men's international, who also got his start with North Texas way back when, the USL League One days. He was lighting things up for them then. Of course, look where he is now. The referee brings this play to a halt as it was going into the Houston end. And it's because one of the Dynamo players is in some discomfort here, might be injured. And the medical staff is on the way to have a look. We'll also have a look at it. Ball was not quite cleared, and then it was the collision there. Yes, Abdul Zane tried to keep on going for North Texas. Clearly accidental. Let's hope that player down is okay for Houston. Kenny Bundy does have a full bench with him for this one tonight. And it does look like it's Josue Souza who is going through the concussion protocol here, just to make sure he's all right. It might have to be looked after a little bit more, whether it's for the 2 minutes or just because he needs more taken care of. We will see. Does allow us to tell you that also North Texas has a bit of a shorter bench with them tonight. Michel Garbini only has 5 outfield players on his bench. And then Victor Daroub, who's the backup goalkeeper. Although to be fair, you see multiple next pro teams sometimes do that. Shorter benches on the road, keep the core group together. Whether it's for chemistry or just sometimes a need to do it, especially now with players going off to the CONCACAF Under-20 Championship. Some players, of course, the goalkeepers for the goalkeeping wars. MLS All-Star Skills Challenge. There's more info on it. Tuesday, July 23rd on Apple TV with the MLS Season Pass, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. It was so good last year, the goalie wars. Isaac Walker's gonna be there to give the belt out to this year's winner. And of course, he'll be hoping that it's his teammate that keeps it with Crown Legacy. We'll see if Chituru Odunze can make it 2 out of 2. As Houston are able to play their way through, but Abdul Zane gets there in time. It'll stay with the Dynamo on the near side. Now, Jefferson Valverde did really well to stick to it. In the end, didn't have room for the shot. Souza's back on and plays a lovely ball in. Oh, Colodi, brilliant stop. Comes off his line and thwarts Di Morelli. And they won't necessarily need that skill for goalie wars, but showing you why he was the mid-season pick for goalkeeper of the year in MLS Next Pro. Read it so well and got it spot on. After a delicious ball in from Souza, right on the money. But Colodi was able to get the job done defensively. Nice weaving run initially here. Wakatuya tried to keep it going. This is Diego Gonzalez, and he's bundled over. Free kick for Houston. Now, what a season Diego Gonzalez has had. Kenny Bundy said multiple times this season that he's wanted to see Diego Gonzalez continue to build as a leader, and he's certainly done that. 2 goals and 7 assists so far this season for Houston's captain. And he's first in the league with 45 key passes. Trying to get another one there. Headed out of the penalty area. Second try, Colodi is there. And Colodi shows off the arm to try to get his teammates in transition. That'll be some goalie wars material. But in the end, Diego Pepe, second best, kept battling. North Texas keep fighting forward, and there's a little nudge in the back from Gonzalez, and North Texas will get a set-piece opportunity. From the set piece. Oh, Hansen missed it. And Turner Humphrey's header goes wide of a gaping goal. Really good opportunity here. But Humphrey wasn't to know that the goalkeeper was going to miss that. And he puts it just wide. It's always tough to anticipate that. Humphrey did well to get his head to it, but just couldn't redirect it on frame. Valverde up ahead, and the offside flag is up. Colodi. Lovely outlet earlier. Putting Stas Lapkis on notice, maybe. It's a lovely weaving run from Malik Henry Scott, who ends up getting fouled. He has a goal and 2 assists for North Texas this season. So many players for Michel Garbini, and before that John Gall, have had wonderful, wonderful seasons. And no Enes Sali or Tariq Scott tonight. They've been the leading goal scorers for North Texas, but look at what Diego Garcia has done. 4 goals, 4 assists. Malachi Molina has a few goals. He's been so impactful. So much talent, so much depth in this group. And they're on the attack again here. It's played off to the far side. Little back heel centrally, looking for Barani, couldn't find him. Henry Scott looks for space, and he might find some in the end. It's still Malik Henry Scott, he lays it off. Still a chance, and it's deflected wide as Alejandro Urzua took aim. And North Texas will keep it on this end with a corner. Patient build-up here on the edge of the penalty area. Malik Henry Scott does really well, finds a teammate, and Urzua ends up having it deflect out of play. Good last-ditch defending from the Dynamo. And a corner to come for the visitors. Little give and go from the corner. This is Diego Garcia trying to find some space, has a teammate to help out, then continued his run. But Tate Schmidt is there for Houston and might be able to get the Dynamo out on the break here. That's well recovered. Good turn though. Referee says nothing wrong with the challenge as Gabriel Segal was looking for a foul. It stops the Houston counterattack. The defensive unit for North Texas and that midfield, we just saw a glimpse of it there. Big reason why they've been so tough to score on. That's why Colorado deserves a lot of credit for not only getting two past them, but keeping a clean sheet against such a strong attack. Now then, that was a brief opportunity for Urzua, I should say. Couldn't find a teammate, but again, it's won back by North Texas. Westergrain. As a player tumbles over, Abdul Zane did really well. Now he's back onto his feet after taking a tumble. Molina. Gordon back for Colodi. Colodi gives the ball away. Chance here, Diego Gonzalez takes on the shot, and it's blocked out of play for a corner. Big deflection from Turner Humphrey. He closes down the angle. Rare miscue from Colodi. Gonzalez saw the opportunity for the shot, but Humphrey deflects it out for a corner for Houston. Gonzalez to take. Bent it in. Humphrey again. Recycled by Valverde. Gonzalez stayed onside. Plays it across Humphrey's header there again. Stops Houston in its tracks. And now a chance for North Texas to break up the other end. Daniel Baran. It's a 1-on-3. Baran keeps on going. And his shot is sprayed over the top. Decent effort considering the odds were against him, but it flies out for a goal kick. Now how quickly North Texas can break up the other end. Wonderful ball in behind, and Baran and maybe waited a touch too long there, but still got off a decent effort. It's just over the top as North Texas are starting to really force the issue here. That's going to be a free kick. Given away by Souza. Another opportunity to put this inside the penalty area. Talked about it earlier. Houston unbeaten in their last 3. Kenny Bundy's team maybe, just maybe, starting to really turn a corner. The right time of the season. Certainly a win here. We'll put a cap on that. But they have defending to do. In by Garcia. And caught by Nico Hansen.
Dynamo too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was the reason why Dynamo 2 won last year.
Gonzalez for Schmidt. And a little too much pressure there from Nico Gordon. Houston get the free kick. They take it quickly. Zane's touch, and his second touch was critical there. Houston nearly leaked in behind through Isaiah Reed. Here's Diego Pepe playing it up ahead. Garcia. Garcia in behind. It's going to be headed out of play. It's a corner for North Texas upcoming. Well, both teams have had decent opportunities so far in the half. It's a clogged 6-yard box here. As Diego Garcia bends it in. Hansen just touched it onto the head of Henry Scott. Henry Scott follows up. Little back heel for Gordon. Can Nico Gordon find somebody? He can. But on for Humphrey. Humphrey tries to take a stab at it. Blocked away by Valverde. Recycled by Molina. Gordon. Valverde's there a second time. And Molina recycles the play for Zane. Talked about Colodi and the goalie wars upcoming for him. Multiple players. MLS Next Pro been called up for CONCACAF Under-20 championship play. Multiple countries represented. US, Mexico, Canada, Jamaica, Cuba, Guatemala, and Panama. All having MLS Next Pro representation. Of course, the winner of that tournament, or the, should say the 4 semifinalists of that tournament, all go to the FIFA Under-20 World Cup, which will be played in Chile next year. Of course, there's also 5 MLS Next Pro alums that have gotten the nod for the U.S. Olympic team. About to take their part in the Paris Olympics. Most notably, Paxton Aronson, Jack McGlynn, a couple Philly 2 guys, and Benjamin Kermashi, formerly of Inter Miami 2. Now, of course, with the first team. From the throw. One back by Gonzalez for Houston. They'll reset the play. Laid back into the path of Femi Awadesu. Good job closing that down by Zane. Ricochets back for some more Houston possession, although Awadesu has to be careful here. Touch took him backwards. Medina up ahead, but Malachi Molina is able to get on the end of it. Of course, this isn't the only rivalry game tonight in MLS Next Pro. SKC2 taking on St. Louis at the moment. That game matters for this one with North Texas trying to get to the top of the table. Kansas City has a 2-1 lead in that one, so we'll keep an eye on that as the night moves along. Chance for the shot here. Took a deflection off the boot of Daniel Baran. And Houston regains possession. Of course, we had Columbus and Cincinnati earlier today. Heck was very much in our near future. But it was Columbus that put Cincinnati to the sword. 6-1 win for Crew 2. That might be the result of the day so far. And then Crown Legacy, Chicago, and Miami, all winners in our first batch of games today. Still at that part of the season where teams that are in places similar to where Houston is right now, 10th coming into the night, still have a chance to make a run to get right back in the mix for the playoffs. As this is lofted over the top, flag stays down, Houston are in! Oh, the ball goes in! It's Matteo Di Morelli who celebrates as the Dynamo take the lead in the derby. It might have been a stroke of fortune, but in rivalry games, fortune favors the bold. And Houston has a 1-0 advantage because of it. This time Di Morelli was onside. Zane tries to get back. Not sure who touched it last, but again, Houston will not care one bit. First goal of the season in Next Pro. Matteo Di Morelli had 2 assists to this point in the campaign. For now, he's the one on the score sheet. And after we were anxiously awaiting the first big chance, Houston, through maybe a little bit of fortune, are able to jump out in front over their arch rivals. Molina. Maybe a chance here for Houston to add on, but in the end, Segal and Reed not on the same page. Ball is sprayed up ahead. Again, the outlet is Diego Pepe. But Nico Hansen is there. A little bit of a hug that Nico Hansen didn't appreciate. And it's an outlet to the far side. Nothing much more than that. It is a rivalry game. Not always a place in rivalry games for hugs, unfortunately. Diego Pepe just found that out the hard way. Here's Schmidt. Oh, lovely skill. Gets it past Pepe. Sprays it out to the far side again. But again, Di Morelli is offside. When he's timed his runs up, Houston have created big chances. I think that's the second or third time. He hasn't quite timed it up to perfection. Nice turn by Garcia. North Texas still a threat. They're able to get the ball through this middle quadrant. Their coaches talk about playing through the lines. Anytime North Texas has played through Houston's middle line, that midfield group, they've looked very dangerous. That ricochets out for a Dynamo throw just in front of Kenny Bundy. Schmidt sprays it back for Hansen. Ball's played down the line. There's a chance to cut in field from Di Morelli. That's Westergaard, I should say Westergrain, beg your pardon, and company all over it. Westergrain there again. It's going to be a foul and a free kick for North Texas. Talked about the busy week coming up. The other thing that it's worth mentioning as well, July 27th, first ever Next Pro versus Mexico game. Another MLS Next Pro Invitational. Defending champions Austin going to take on Cancun Football Club from Liga Expansión MX. They're the defending champions, Cancun FC. Won the title back on May 18th. They'll take on the champions of Next Pro July 27th. We'll have more on that at halftime, of course, but that's another thing to look forward to as the next week materializes. It's all kicking off. It's all happening in and around, not just MLS, but MLS Next Pro as well. As Westergrain plays in Garcia. Good defensive work from Awadesu. Wakatuya helps it along and can't quite get it to a teammate. From the throw, Henry Scott tried to put on the brakes, couldn't take the ball with him, but it's a giveaway here. North Texas with a chance to create. Urzua. Humphrey out wide. Infield for Garcia. Westergrain. Humphrey. Urzua thought about splitting the defense. Humphrey from Gordon. Garcia for Zane. Zane again. Dispossessed, but follows up to get it to Garcia. Urzua. It's touched along. It's Diego Pepe. Plays it across, and it's going to be blocked. Handball appeals come in. Referee waves them away as Malik Henry Scott is thwarted when maybe Diego Pepe could have taken on the shot himself. Pepe rolls it across. Maybe there is where he could have shot it. He was so unselfish and then was looking for a handball. Referee says none occurred. And Houston are let off the hook after a great passage of North Texas play. Gordon up ahead. That's deflected high into the air. Westergrain tries to head it along. He gets it to Pepe. Pepe has one Next Pro goal this season. That's kept in by Molina, although Houston didn't agree with that decision. Westergrain. It's a chance for Henry Scott. Played it across. Awadesu got a critical touch on it defensively for Houston. And now a chance for Reed up the other end. He was pushed on by the fans. Ends up having to cut it back, and North Texas wins it back. Garcia. Game's starting to go up a notch or two. Humphrey for Zane. And that challenge is going to lead to a free kick for the visitors. A little over 10 minutes plus stoppage time left in the half. Theo Di Morelli giving Houston the lead with his first Next Pro goal of the campaign. Gordon forced back to Kalodi. Westergrain. Westergrain assessing his options, has Malachi Molina for company. Urzua pinballs back to him. He was looking for Malik Henry Scott. Zane couldn't quite turn upfield. Westergrain. Garcia tripped up. Free kick. North Texas took it quickly, but Houston was ready in the end. Wakatuya got there first, and it fizzles out for North Texas there. Maybe a little too quick. on the take. Gonzalez beautifully switches the point of attack. Schmidt, good control initially, but he loses the ball. Collided with Molina. Urzua. Oh, brilliant ball. It's Diego Pepe. Saved by Hansen. Well, that's the kind of link-up play that we've come to expect from North Texas. Didn't quite happen that time. Up the other end, Reed tries to break through. Reed again, and it ricocheted off of Humphrey for Collodi. Back and forth we go. Great run from Urzua. Lovely outside of the boot pass. Pepe, with the angle against him, took on the shot, and Hansen was there to hold on. And it didn't take Houston long to nearly create a chance up the other end. A softer bounce off of Reed, and he would have been in. One-on-one with Collodi. Great end-to-end play from both teams in that sequence. Garcia. In behind Pepe is offside. Obviously that finish does not count. Free kick for Houston. Still time for North Texas to find a response in this first half. DiMorelli's goal came about 11 minutes ago, and now Houston might get another chance here, but it's chipped in by Segal, when maybe he could have done a little bit better. He was essentially one-on-one with Collodi, tried to chip him. And it's a missed opportunity for a Dynamo second. That's a nice, lovely ball played through. Urzua closed down upon, and again, Houston recovering well defensively multiple times throughout the half. Are able to stifle that attacking opportunity for North Texas. Schmidt for Hansen. Humphrey's header. Westergrain. Humphrey again. Well, one back. Valverde, should say Urzua, gets it back from Gordon. Westergrain up ahead. Pepe plays in Malachi Molina. Molina cross. Hansen gets a touch and gets back to it before Garcia could arrive. Molina had the right idea here, tried to play it in front for Malik Henry Scott, but it's great goalkeeping. Not once, but twice, Nico Hansen does the job. Segal. Out to the far side. DiMorelli. For Reed. And it was a good challenge from Humphrey, but it's going to go Houston's way on the throw. By the way, Kansas City have scored again against St. Louis. 3-1 SKC leads. So if that result holds and North Texas can come back here, they will be at the top of the Western Conference at the end of the day. It's going to be a foul and a free kick for Houston and their captain, Diego Gonzalez, who needs a moment to get back to his feet. Shot comes in. Bit ambitious from Jefferson Valverde. And it's a North Texas goal kick. Again, the other game that's going on live along with us, the Town taking on Real Monarchs as Colodi has to take out the pitching wedge. And Humphrey clears. No score there in California. As Schmidt tries a little give and go, Molina clears. Other live game going on right now, it's New York Red Bulls 1, Orlando City 0 in New Jersey. Schmidt plays that across, that ricocheted nearly into the path of the arriving Seagal. And then Garcia snuffed out. Good defensive work again by Houston. Goes out of play. And there'll be a deep throw in this corner for Malachi Molina. It'll give Houston a chance to win the ball back high up the field. Awadesu. Just over 2 minutes plus stoppage time left in the half. Still time. Someone to grab some late first half momentum going into the interval. DiMorelli's goal, the difference. Played all the way back to Hansen. Near side Schmidt. Schmidt back from Gonzalez. It's a lovely give and go. Tate Schmidt continues his run and plays it across. And Zane is the one that has to clear it away. It's a Houston corner. That was a wonderful ball played in. Talk about a searching ball from Tate Schmidt. Took out not one, but two North Texas defenders. And Zane gets the critical touch with two players arriving for Houston. Gonzalez will take the corner. Gonzalez bends it in, and there was a foul in the build-up. Free kick for North Texas. Ends up being a little bit of a wasted opportunity there for Houston. Although again, spoken with John Gall about this, and Michel Garbini's continued the progressions as far as how good North Texas, and not just been defensively, but specifically defensively sound on set pieces. They've been tough to deal with there. And they were able to stand up to that one in that last sequence. Garcia. Free kick for North Texas as we jump into 3 added minutes at the end of the half. Now then, here's Diego Pepe. Time for North Texas to find an equalizer before the break. Molina up ahead. Urzua plays it across. He's going to get the ball back here. Westergrain. Garcia. Baran. Zane. Back for Westergrain. Couple of chances to put the ball in the penalty area there. A patient build up. Westergrain again. Henry Scott. Lays it off for Urzua. Urzua with an ambitious try at it. Pepe! Tried to round the corner, but the angle was against him, and Malik Henry Scott also was arriving, but was well covered. Hansen. Or maybe Houston content to go into the halftime break a goal up. Given away to Colodi. Just a little over a minute left in the half here. Garcia, after that was kept in play. Westergrain. Can North Texas get one more big opportunity? Gordon on the run. Molina ends up leaving it here for Urzua. Good ball across. Pepe couldn't redirect it on target. In the end, Gonzalez tries to clear. He has it blocked. It's helped along. And Segal is able to play it through. Dimorelli on the break. Reed through the middle. Dimorelli keeps on going here for Houston. Gonzalez arrives. Dimorelli shoots. Colodi knocks it down. Matteo Dimorelli almost went all the way. Pepe for Molina. Final seconds. North Texas can hurry. Maybe time for one more chance. Urzua. It's going to be a throw-in. Will there be enough time for North Texas to take it? Well, the answer to that question is no. Halftime here in Houston. Good opportunities for both teams in what at times was a heated first half, but the difference, Matteo Dimorelli with a little bit of a deflection, gives Houston the halftime lead of 1-0. North Texas, though, very much still in it, and it's well set up for the second 45 minutes. Our score at the half again, Houston 1, North Texas 0. Coming up, the MLS Next All-Star events are taking place early next week. We will preview the festivities from Columbus when we come back. Houston leads North Texas at the half here in the Lone Star State by 1-0. Second half coming up in just a few moments. But first, MLS Next Pro Goalie Wars returns to MLS All-Star Skills Challenge presented by AT&T on Tuesday, July 23rd at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. The keepers have been selected, so let's show you who the 4 competing in Columbus will be and who they'll be going up against.
Champion. How about it? think I want to silence that home crowd, you know? I think I want to keep Columbus quiet and I want to take on Stas.
Hello and welcome to the official Goalie Wars selection show. I am your host, Aaron Burrell. These players will be competing for a one-of-a-kind championship belt. Is what's on the line. We like it. It's a beautiful belt. Let's get to know some of this year's participants. The hometown hero, Stas Lopkis. Jean-Antoine from Chattanooga FC. Will the belt stay down in North Carolina with Chituro Odunze? The Frisco kid hoping to bring the belt back to Texas, Michael Colodi. The number one seed for this year's Goalie Wars is Michael Colodi of North Texas SC.
It's a big honor, and I think being kind of acknowledged as that is something that I'm taking a lot of pride in and super proud of, and honored to be chosen as that.
Who will you select?
My decision, I think I want to silence that home crowd, you know? I think I want to keep Columbus quiet and I want to take on Stas.
It feels exciting, man. It's obviously a great opportunity to play in front of a home crowd, and I think it'll give me a lot of power and strength, and not every day get to play against an opponent from the other conference.
Not to be forgotten about the other matchup, Jean and Chituro.
I'm excited. Last time we played, he won. Something I'm looking forward to, to get him back because he got one of me already.
It should be a good game. Of course, last time we did get the win, but he made some big stops in the game, so love to see it.
The 1 and 2 hour 3-4 matchup features two clubs in the Southeast. Tuesday, July 23rd at 7:30 p.m. on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. Make sure you do not miss out because I promise you, this is going to be an event for the ages. Thank you all for joining us. This has been the official Goalie Wars selection show.
Oh, you know, the keepers will be competing against each other for that one-of-a-kind custom championship belt on Tuesday. The MLS Next Pro content team caught up with the belt maker for an in-depth look at this year's grand prize.
In my head, just score this and you win the belt. So I took a deep breath, focused on my accuracy, and yes, Isaac Walker, the new champion. How about this? How about this? How about this? Come on now.
So I got into championship belts when I was a kid. I was a big wrestling fan in the 80s, and I used to love watching the championship belts on TV. And I used to draw them on paper. My name is Andrew Lazarchik, and I am the owner of Wildcat Championship Belts. In 2005, I officially started Wildcat Championship Belts, where we started making authentic title belts. I would make wrestling title belts for small wrestling promotions, or anybody else that really needed an award. In 2007 was when we got our first big break, when Nathan's Famous Hot Dogs called us, and they needed a title belt for their hot dog eating competition, and they needed it quickly. So we agreed to do that, got it done very quickly, and we've made that title belt every year since 2007. We started working with WWE at that time too, and we started making some of the belts for WWE in 2007. It's grown. We make belts for anybody that needs a unique award. That's how we kind of grew the business into what it is today. When I started Wildcat Championship Belts, it was a part-time gig for 15 years. I'm not an overnight success. It was a lot of work. You know, you talk about your 10,000 hours of practice. You know, I've had my 10,000 hours of practice.
Last year's Goalie Wars belt was designed by Wildcat Championship Belts and was a big hit with fans and players alike. This year's belt has been modified with new changes that catch the eye.
The idea behind the belt is it almost has arrows on it, kind of graphically interpreting kicking the ball as hard as you can into the goal. So that was kind of the first concept we came up with, and then we tweaked it to get it to where it is now. This year we used the arrow branding that MLS Next Pro uses as the side plates, as well as the location. This year it's Columbus, Ohio.
MLS Next Pro and Wildcat Championship Belts have collaborated to bring another world-class belt to life with an in-depth process.
Whenever we make our title belts, everything's custom made by hand. It has to be drawn out, cut out, tooled individually by hand. Each little mark in the leather is a hand-tooled stamp. As far as the plates go, that's all custom designed from scratch. It's not mass-produced, gold-plated, nickel-plated in the MLS Next Pro case. They're then painted by hand right here in our workshop. We paint them by hand and then assemble it here, assemble the plates onto the leather, glue the backing on, and we have a finished product.
With this year's belt, there's a focus on graphical elements that make the belt unique.
We knew that we wanted to somehow graphically interpret the soccer game as part of the design, but there's a tangible element of soccer that we kind of were able to graphically interpret. So we try to do that with branding or with something as literal as soccer or fantasy football, that kind of thing. We have to mesh that with the classic idea of what a championship belt is to look like.
It takes thousands of hours to become a champion, which is why Andrew's motto is no days off. It's a motto that recipients of his belt can relate to.
The coolest part about having these belts go to winners and champions is knowing that they earned it. Last year when Isaac Walker earned that title belt, he'd throw the belt over his shoulder and he was very proud because he was a champion and he earned it. That's the coolest thing, to be able to help people that they've done the work, they've done the hard work to become a champion, but until you have that title belt strapped around your waist or over your shoulder, that's when you're really a champion. If you do the hard work, you put the time in, you put the effort in, you can become a champion, and we can help you do that.
Andrew's dedication to his craft comes through in all of his work. He's determined to share that passion with the next generation as well.
If I can, share that passion with others by helping them become a champion, whether it's with a title belt or with our Little Champs program that we started, where every year we donate a portion of the profits to Toys for Tots, and we've donated over 1,500 toy championship belts to kids since we started doing this. Now we're donating funds to our local school district to help the school district with buying things for the classroom. And those kids will eventually have a passion of their own, and hopefully whatever funding that we can help with will grow their passion to what they want to do with a career. So it's more than just making title belts and making a living. It's really following your passion.
Saturday, July 27th, the reigning MLS Next Pro champion will face the champion from Liga Expansión MX in the 2024 MLS Next Pro Invitational. Austin FC 2 will host Cancun Football Club at Palmer Field at St. David's Performance Center, 9 p.m. Eastern. Tickets will go on sale to the public on Monday, July 22nd at 11 a.m. Eastern at SeatGeek.com. Fans can watch for free on MLSNextPro.com. Really excited to see how that one plays out. First half highlights here between Houston and North Texas. Sean St. Jacques back here with you. We begin with Houston on the attack. This was the only goal of the half. Maybe a little ricochet off of Zade. Matteo Di Morelli scoring his first Next Pro goal of the season in this huge rivalry game, giving Dynamo Dos the halftime advantage that they currently enjoy. But both teams had big opportunities. Diego Pepe slithering his way in behind, unselfishly playing it to the side, but Henry Scott stifled, and a handball appeal there was waved away. So big opportunities for both teams throughout the half. And then here, Pepe, lovely ball down the line. Malachi Molina into the penalty area. 2 big stops from Nico Hansen. And that's where we stand going into the second half with Dynamo Dos ahead by 1-0. But before we get to the second half kick, do you have a chance to look at halftime stats? And again, a lot of opportunities for both. 4 shots to 2 on target favors Houston, but 10 shots to 6 in total favors North Texas. So both teams will certainly be right in the thick of it, fighting for the important points. And again, Houston, if they can hold on, they'll have an opportunity to maybe jump up a couple of spots in the Western Conference. North Texas has the door open for them to potentially finish the night at the top of the West if they're able to come back and get a result. And that's because St. Louis did lose to Kansas City by 3-1. So it's all happening in the MLS Next Pro Western Conference. It does look like Houston is going to make a sub here at the half. It is the hero from the last meeting between these two. Kieran Sargent scored the late equalizer to get Houston a point. Last time these two met, he's going to come on. I believe that's going to be the end of the night for Tate Schmidt, who played really well in that first half, as we'd expect from him. He makes way, and Sargent's in to try to keep Houston ahead in the second half. Remember, North Texas have just 1 win ever in Next Pro against Houston Dynamo 2, and the hosts here would love to keep it that way. They've done half the job. There's still a very important second stanza to come here. One other update we can give you from the other games going on. Remember, it's another jam-packed Sunday night of Next Pro action. Orlando City B, late equalizer in Montclair against the Red Bulls. So 1-1 is how that finished. They are currently in the thick of a penalty kick shootout in the Garden State. Teams will switch sides for the second half. North Texas will kick us off, going from right to left. Referee's whistle goes, and Diego Garcia gets the second half underway. Houston leads, but North Texas certainly in the mix to get back into this one, potentially get back to the top of the table in the Western Conference of MLS Next Pro. There's the confirmation of the only change at halftime. Sargent in, Schmidt out for Kenny Bundy's group. Here's Zane for North Texas. Tried to fizz it in there for Daniel Baran. It goes past him. It'll go out of play. And again, we talked about that wonderful event coming up next Saturday. First ever meeting between Next Pro and Mexican opposition. Another wonderful edition of the MLS Next Pro Invitational that in years past has seen Next Pro teams play Premier League 2 sides. Hoffenheim's understudies have come over, and of course we saw Ventura County, then of course LA Galaxy 2 and Philadelphia Union 2 play Wrexham last season as well in the month of July. Well, it's Liga Expansión MX's turn to get in on the fun. And they'll have a stiff test against the defending Next Pro champs. Excited to see how that showcase plays out. Good first touches here for Sargent, weaving his way past a couple of challenges down that far side. Read into the middle. It was a good ball, but Colodi is able to beat Gabriel Segal to the spot. Houston's pressure nearly leads to a giveaway. Isaiah Reed tried to win the ball back, but North Texas regains it. And Diego Garcia looks to get the visitors back on the front foot. Baran cutting in field. Wakatuyu has had a really good season for Houston to this point. He's able to step in and give the Dynamo the ball back. There has been a goal in the other game in the West tonight. The Town, that's currently going on, the Town has taken the lead over Real Monarchs. Dan DeGear's group have a 1-0 lead out west in California. Good touch here into space, and then chance to continue on there for Souza. He's upended, and it's a Houston free kick just in front of their coach, Kenny Bundy. Sargent scored in the 88th minute in the April fixture between these two. Told you there tends to be late drama when these two get together, so this one is miles away from being over. Urzua is going to get back on the end of this here for North Texas and plays it across. Sargent slides in before the ball could get through to Garcia. Westergrain on the turn. Can North Texas start to turn the screws a bit here in the second half? Urzua again from Molina. Mads Westergrain. Molina, little dink in behind for Pepe. And Pepe will win a corner for North Texas. Just like in the first half, it's going to be a congested penalty area to aim at. It's going to go right towards goal, and Colodi palms it away. Sent back in by Henry Scott. It's knotted down and then cleared off the line. Urzua tried to get it back towards Henry Scott. Knotted down for Zane. Critical defending from the Dynamo to keep themselves ahead. Molina continues the move. Great ball in for Pepe. And Pepe was offside despite a decent save from Colodi. Colodi releases the ball. And it's gonna, I think, have to be retaken. It's going to be brought back to, I think, yeah, Colodi. Maybe not retaken, but redone. Because of the ball moving, I guess. That brings it back. After that release from Hansen, I should say, up ahead. Now Molina. North Texas go right back at it. Westergrain for Zane. Baran. Bent in by Zane. And it's caught in the end by Nico Hansen. Although it looks like the flag ends up going up here. Ball might have gone out of play and then bent back in. Also, there also might have been, to be fair, a hint of offside in that. Either way, it is Houston back in possession The ball is poked up ahead here. Flag's gonna stay down. Reed is closed down by Nico Gordon. At the concession of a corner. North Texas nearly opened up there. And the ball through the heart of the defense. Diego Gonzalez to take. From the corner at the near post, North Texas is able to clear it. It was flicked back on by the goal scorer, Dimorelli. Henry Scott. Was played through by Medina, cut out. Here's Valverde. Souza. Near side Gonzalez. Gonzalez is going to cut in field. There's space to work with. It nearly got through. Gonzalez follows up and helps to win the ball back. Sargent. Sargent cuts it back. Thought better about shooting. Valverde for Gonzalez. Nice ball looking for Sargent. Takes a high bounce and it is going to go out of play. A throw in for North Texas. Before it's taken, we're going to see a pair of Houston substitutions here. Sebastian Rodriguez and Ifu Achara are both going to come on. Souza and the goal scorer, Dimorelli, are both going to make way. So a refresh in the attacking sense here for Kenny Bundy's group. That's 3 changes used by Houston. Remember, North Texas has a little bit of a shorter bench tonight, so we'll see when Michel Garbini decides to go to his reserves. Only 5 outfield players available for him. That's looped over the top for Sargent. Sargent kept it in, and then his cross ricochets off of Molina. It's a corner for the Dynamo. Momentum still feels like it's there to be had. 10 minutes into the start of the second half. Could Houston really stamp their authority on things by grabbing a second goal here? Gonzalez bends the ball in. Colodi gets a big hand onto that. Might have taken a shot. Wakatuya. He's going to be blown dead. It's going to be a free kick, it looks like, for North Texas. Good goalkeeping here from Colodi. If he doesn't get a touch onto that, that could have ended up anywhere. In the end, gets North Texas out of trouble. Of course, we hope he's okay. He's got a big week ahead of him. Stas Lapkis is going to be his opponent in the goalie wars. Talked about that earlier in the first round. It's going to be on July 23rd. Everyone's always looking forward to this, and so are we. MLS Next Pro Goalie Wars, 7:30 p.m. Eastern in Columbus. On the MLS Season Pass with Apple TV. Will Crown Legacy keep the title? Isaac Walker won it last year. I will say, Michael Colodi, you might have seen it at halftime. Michael Colodi was talking a big game, so we're excited to see if he is going to be able to win it for North Texas. But of course, the Concern now is over his health at the moment after he bumped into Isaac Mwakatuya. Michel Garbini does have Victor Darube available, a backup goalkeeper, if Kalodi can't continue. Michael Kalodi was the goalkeeper of the month back in May, MLS Next Pro, and then won the midseason award for best goalkeeper in MLS Next Pro as well. It's great to see him also getting that goal keeping nod, but the goalie war is not as well. He's deserved it, as have the other three goalkeepers. They've all had really strong seasons. And Kalodi looks like he's good to go. As we approach the hour mark here in the Lone Star State. By the way, that Red Bulls 2 game against Orlando City B finally ended. Red Bulls 2 won 8-7 on penalties to get the additional point after Orlando got a late equalizer in Montclair, New Jersey. Drama just never stops in this league, does it? Wild stuff there. That's a huge 2 points, by the way, for the Red Bulls. What's turning out to be a pretty tight Eastern Conference. Zane. Houston close it down, but it's going to be a throw-in for North Texas as we approach the hour mark. That's going to be poked along here. Baran tried to help it along for the arriving Garcia. Cleared up ahead, good header by Achara. Played up ahead for Gonzalez, lovely give and go, and Diego Gonzalez is offside on the near side. And Kenny Bundy has his hands to his mouth. That was really tight. If he's onside, Houston could have had a 2-on-1. But the flag negates the sequence. Molina. Back for Gordon, his captain. Westergrain. For Humphrey, he's had a good game so far for the visitors. Zane. Maybe a chance here for Baran. Mwakatuya, brilliantly done on the defensive side. North Texas settles for a throw instead. Michel Garbini is giving some instructions, I think, to Dylan Lacey. Here you see him, number 21 on the bottom of your screen. So we'll see if North Texas decides to make a move. As Achara plays the ball in behind, this time Gonzalez is onside. Houston have the numbers. Gonzalez across, it's 2-0. Gabriel Segal with the finishing touch. And the Dynamo double their lead in the derby. It's Segal's second goal of the season. And it has Houston in command against their in-state rivals. Gonzalez stayed onside this time and picks up his 8th assist of the season. Segal's second goal. And Houston are in control in the derby. So 2-0 to Houston, and North Texas now are going to bring on Dylan Lacey. North Texas now have to score twice to get back into it. After 7 games unbeaten, that's the other stat that's staring North Texas in the face right now. They're down by 2 goals again for a second straight road game after having 7 straight without a defeat. Diego Pepe is who came out on that Lacey swap. So North Texas have a mountain to climb the rest of the way. Nice ball down this near side. Baran. Lacey helped it along with his first touch, but Houston regathers possession. Gonzalez up ahead. Isaiah Reed's in behind. Oh, it's a wonderful finish. Isaiah Reed gives Houston a 3-0 lead with his 3rd goal of the season. It's a 2nd assist for Diego Gonzalez. He has 9 of them in Next Pro this season. And it's the Dynamo dashing their rivals in the derby. They lead by 3-0. Gonzalez at the heart of it. Colodi did get a touch, but couldn't keep out the attempt from Isaiah Reed. Two assists for Gonzalez, and Houston's 1-goal lead has burst into a 3-goal advantage, just like that. And it's the first time in some time that North Texas have been in a heap of trouble on the road well before full time. Zane, Westergrain. North Texas looking for any sliver to get back into it now. 25 minutes to play. Oh, Lacey got on the end of it, but Nico Hansen saves it off the bounce. I'm reminded of a couple of quotes from Kenny Bundy earlier in the season talking about how good his team had the potential to be, not just in the attack in general, but in particular in transition. And when you have players like Diego Gonzalez who could pick out players like he just did, the Dynamo could be very, very dangerous when it comes to not just tonight, but going forward towards the end of the season, where they tend to be in the mix come playoff time. This Dynamo team's always had a ton of talent. It's just about the results, and they're starting to put them together. If they hold on to this, case in point, they'll be unbeaten in their last 4, as that challenge is going to lead to a yellow card to Mads Westergrain. Maybe some frustration starting to settle in for North Texas. Talked about it, they've only had 1 win in 90 minutes against Houston. Feels like, again, the Dynamo might have their number once more tonight. Awadesu pinning the ball out to the far side. Kieran Sargent, early ball in behind, but it's going to be too far out in front. Good hustle by Segal to keep it in, but Zane has it for North Texas. Daniel Baran has time and space down this near side and is using it pretty well. Plays it centrally here to Henry Scott. Help arriving, Urzua. Henry Scott! Still Henry Scott, he's able to keep it alive. Gets it away from Hansen, the goal is gaping at the moment here. Lacey, give and go, Urzua! Couldn't get on the end of it. Westergrain recovers. Lacey again, little give and go with Garcia. Malachi Molina! Oh, brilliant defensive work on the back end by the goal scorer, Isaiah Reed. Doing it at both ends, and it's out for a corner. Reed started the run in the top right-hand part of your screen. He beats Molina to the spot. It's wonderful effort. The challenge was spot on. And North Texas settles for a corner. That was a real opportunity to give the visitors some hope. Lacey will come short. Chops it back, Garcia. And Garcia is going to get another corner out of it off of Sargent. North Texas are going to fight their way back. They need to get the first goal as quickly as they can. From the corner. Just over the head of Humphrey. That was an opportunity. It was just too tall. Turner Humphrey again. It's played in for Lacey. Lacey across! Oh, that was a good opportunity for Henry Scott. Was he being held? Gordon was in the area as well. Molina trying to find Henry Scott. And Achara comes out with it for Houston. And Achara's got pace. Achara plays a wonderful ball across. Segal didn't have enough help around him. Plays it back for Ifeatu Achara. Rodriguez recycles the play. 20 minutes plus stoppage left. Segal makes the run. Humphrey shields him away. Now, we talked about it earlier. North Texas had a real opportunity tonight with a result to go back to the top of the table in the West. But if it stays like this, St. Louis will stay at the top of the Western Conference in Next Pro. That's going to be a foul against Valverde for Houston. For Dynamo Dos, they could get up to 9th place tonight if this result holds. And Kenny Bundy is going to make a couple more changes here. Omar Bolaños is going to come on, along with David Garcia. Looks like Isaiah Reed is going to come out. Great performance from him. Jefferson Valverde was the other to come out. So Valverde and Reed off. David Garcia and Omar Bolaños on for Houston. I believe that puts Kenny Bundy at 5 substitutions used for the night. Just 1 used so far for North Texas. I wonder if that'll change in the next couple of minutes. We will see. Westergrain. Urzua scoops it ahead. brief opportunity there to shoot for Diego Garcia, but he was swarmed. Kept alive by Baran for Lacey. Clever little back heel. Urzua gets it back to Lacey. Westergrain. Baran. It's a good turn. Henry Scott! Oh! Off the outside of the post. And it's out for a goal kick. Tried to beat Nico Hansen at his near post. Stayed on side. Good strike. But it's off the outside of the upright. That's probably the closest North Texas has been for a big chunk of the second half. Oh, right on cue, it does look like North Texas are readying a couple of changes here. 17 minutes left. Gonna make a run at it. Now's the time. Miscommunication there with David Garcia. North Texas gets the ball back. Molina for Westergrain. Abdul Zane. Did that take a touch off of Achara? Have to wait and see. Here come the two North Texas changes. Nico Gordon is going to come out. Lautaro Taboada is going to take his place. Jonah Gibson is also going to come on, and Malachi Molina is going to exit. So a double swap. Michel Garbini, interim coach. Certainly substitutions that can make an impact. Try to get North Texas back in with an interest. Westergrain. Zane. Westergrain upfield. Humphrey taking down on 15 minutes plus stoppage left, and Zane not on the same page with Baran. It's a Dynamo throw. Haven't been too many one-sided games in this fixture's history, but it's been the Dynamo that, yes, it was a slim one-goal lead at the half, but they hit Houston for two quick ones in the second half, and that's allowed Kenny Bundy's group to take complete command in this second half. The two goals in the second half came within about 3 or 4 minutes of each other. 61st minute, Segal from Diego Gonzalez, and then Gonzalez again finding Isaiah Reed. There's Jefferson Valverde, who's now been substituted. Had the other assist on the first goal from Dimorelli. Here's Gonzalez again. Segal again! Oh! He scores again! Houston gets another 8 of a deflection. And Segal, who had only scored once heading into this night, has a brace. And Houston are starting to really rub it in. It's 4-0 to the Dynamo. Not much that Colodi could have done about that. Looked like it took another ricochet. And Segal gives Houston a commanding and surely decisive 4-0 lead over their in-state foes. It feels like a lot of the early to middle part of this next pro season. One of the talking points has been, when are we gonna see the best from Kenny Bundy's group? Tonight may be that night. Remember, coming into the night, North Texas, in 8 prior road games this season, had conceded 5 goals. And on top of that, they'd only conceded 14 in Next Pro this season. Houston had put 4 past them tonight. And when you have great goalkeeping from Nico Hansen, it's turning into a wonderful Houston night. By the way, they gave Diego Gonzalez another assist. He has 10 in Next Pro this season. He's been wonderful tonight. Always in and amongst it for Houston. Oh, another chance here. Segal on a hat trick. He's offside. What a way to cap off his night. You can see there, looked like he was off, might have been offside on 2 occasions there, but most notably on the ball in from Sargent. And he couldn't take the chance either way. So it's a free kick for North Texas, and it does look like that Michel Garbini's going to use his last 2 substitutions. Chris Cook is going to come in along with Zach Malomo, Abdul Zane, and Diego Garcia are going to be the 2 players that come out. And that should be that. 5 substitutions each. And there's 10 minutes left in what's turning into Houston's best night in this 2024 campaign to date. Can't get much better than a home trouncing of your arch rivals who are pushing for the top of the West. Able to put a stop to that, at least for now. Again, considering the defensive record that North Texas has had this season, it only makes what Diego Gonzalez and the goal scorers have been able to do that much more impressive for Kenny Bundy's group tonight. Three assists for Gonzalez. 4 goals for the Dynamo. We see teams get hot in Next Pro all the time. By the way, with these 3 assists, Diego Gonzalez is now the joint assist leader in MLS Next Pro with 10. And Houston might not be done yet. Another opportunity for a shot, this time from the substitute David Garcia. Saved by Michael Collodi. And Diego Gonzalez was also first coming into the night with 45 key passes. He's extended his lead in that category. He now has 49 6 more than any other player in MLS Next Pro this season. Now then, Baran, second best. Awadesu gets there and wins a throw-in for Dynamo Dos as well. Achara thought he was fouled. It's going to be a North Texas throw. It's in front of Michel Garbini. Had a great career as a player himself. In American soccer, he's been with North Texas for so long. Mentioned that earlier. Even all the way back to when they won USL League One a long time ago. The end of the 2010s. Continues to be a mainstay fixture in the FC Dallas organization. He's just done such good work and service for them over the years. Lacey for North Texas, looking to avoid a clean sheet here. Malomo stood up. Lacey again, tried to find a couple of different teammates, and Sargent gets it clear for Houston. Of course, the next time we'll see North Texas will be 6 days from now. They will play St. Louis with first place in the Western Conference in Next Pro on the line. That's going to be a huge game next weekend in MLS Next Pro. And then they go to Austin after that before 2 home games. Kansas City comes to town on August 10th, and then they'll get another shot at Houston. Third meeting of the season will be on August 17th at Choctaw Stadium. As Sargent gets a boot onto that, Hansen's there and quickly outlets it back to the man who stopped the North Texas move. Houston stay at home next week. They'll play on Sunday again against LAFC 2. That's another juicy matchup in the West. Then they go play Colorado Rapids 2 before hosting St. Louis on August 11th. Then the showdown with North Texas, and then August 21st, Houston back at home again. They'll take on Minnesota United FC 2. And then they'll actually play Minnesota again 4 days later. So back-to-back home games against Minnesota to end the month of August, and then it really gets juicy after that. September, and then by the time we get to October, we'll definitely be talking playoffs. One other live game going on right now. Real Monarchs have equalized against the Town, 1-1. That one could be going to penalties. In California, part of the late slate before the last game of the night kicks off. Also out in California, we'll see Ventura County taking on Portland Timbers 2 to end another really exciting day of MLS Next Pro play. So be sure, I should say, to tune into that one. Ventura County coming off a rivalry shootout win over LAFC 2 last weekend. Another rivalry game that had plenty of derby drama. Gonzalez helps that along for Sargent. Goes out of play. It'll stay with Houston. 3 minutes plus stoppage time before Houston gain the bragging rights back in this Lone Star State rivalry. North Texas won in a shootout last time, but Houston have certainly made up for that this time, and they might not be done yet. It's Ifeatu Achara! And he lays on his back, thinking of what he could have done differently. Great athleticism to get up off the ground, but he misses the attempt on the shot. And it's been as rough of a performance defensively as we've seen all season, I should say. For North Texas, Houston could have had a couple more in this second half. Colodi making sure his water bottle is off the pitch and the towel. Referee making absolutely sure. You just see, though, the frustration for North Texas. Not the way they wanted this night to play out. And frankly, they were much, much better in the first half and in early parts of the second half as well. They had opportunities to level things up, but just past the hour mark, that's when everything changed. And it's been all Houston over the last half an hour. That's going to be a foul and a free kick, and I think that yellow card is going to go to Femi Awodesu for Houston. Free kick for North Texas in search of what in the end would be a consolation. Another look. Ooh, actually, the yellow card may have been presented to the substitute, Sebastian Rodriguez, instead. So Rodriguez is booked. See on the replay the challenge in behind. Lacey from the set piece. It's headed high into the air. Humphrey kept that alive for Henry Scott. Recycled around. Dylan Lacey pins one in. It's headed centrally, and then the header is over the top from the substitute, Lautaro Taboada. Good build-up play, but it's a bit of a microcosm of the night for North Texas. Good move, but no finish at the end of it. And that'll take us into 3 added minutes at the end of this one. As we get towards the end of the match, just a quick recap of what's coming up this week. July 23rd in Columbus, 7:30 p.m. Goalie Wars for MLS Next Pro. Michael Colodi and company battling for the belt in Columbus, Ohio. 4 days later, Saturday, July 27th, Austin against Cancun Football Club. The 2024 edition of the MLS Next Pro Invitational. And you'll see plenty of Next Pro representation at the Olympics and the CONCACAF Under-20 Championship coming up in the days and weeks that will follow. A lot of good stuff to look forward to around MLS Next Pro. Houston keep on coming. Another attempt. Bolaños blocked. Gonzalez controls with 2 minutes to play. Sargent. Wakatuya has also been stellar tonight defensively. Finds Achara. And Houston will likely finish the night in 9th. North Texas will stay in 2nd. So all in all, a really, really good evening for Houston on all fronts. Standings, the rivalry, the performance, and of course the result. Achara tries to put the cherry on top. And the ball across is almost cleared. Segal for the hat trick. Blocked by Humphrey. Houston trying to add on. It's the most goals Houston has scored this season with 4. They tried to get it up to 5. North Texas denied them that. There's a player down in the penalty area for Houston. It is Segal. But Achara helps him back up in the final seconds. Battle for it in the corner. Sargent gets onto it. The North Texas player goes down. We've had the 3 added minutes. Possible need for some help here. It's a head injury, potentially. So the referee rightly will bring on the medical staff, and I can't imagine after this is done being checked on, I should say. Can't imagine we'll have to wait too much longer for the final whistle, which Dynamo fans will be very much craving for. Another look at the sequence here. Comes at the back end. Ooh, there might have been a little bit of an arm up in the air there from David Garcia. Not sure the referee saw that. Looked like there might have been even some intent behind it from our vantage point, but again, we're pretty far away on that view, so tough to tell, but didn't look great on the replay. Malik Henry Scott, who had some good moments tonight, just couldn't find the back of the net. He's the one being assessed here for North Texas in the game's final moments. There might have been a little bit of blood on Malik Henry Scott. He's holding a cloth to his face. Doesn't necessarily have to come back on for North Texas. Referee will likely just get the ball back into play, and you would think that would be that here. Westergrain will take it. He gets it right back. Now it's to Colodi for Humphrey. And that's full time here in Houston. A Dynamo demolition of North Texas tonight. Best performance of the season for Kenny Bundy's group. It's a 4-0 thrashing of North Texas. That gives Houston Dynamo 9th place positioning in the Western Conference standings tonight. Also allows us to tell you that our man of the match is Diego Gonzalez. It's presented by Adidas. 3 assists tonight for Diego Gonzalez. 4 key passes along the way as well. And he had the assist on each of the last 3 goals for Houston out of their 4, and was a playmaker, to put it mildly, for Houston tonight. He was marvelous from start to finish, just like the Dynamo were in a 4-0 victory. Again, Diego Gonzalez is our Adidas man of the match. It hasn't been this good all season for Houston. The most goals they've scored, and they take down their in-state rivals. For our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, I'm Sean St. Jacques. Once again, the final score is Houston 4, North Texas 0. Don't forget, you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long. The MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and on MLSNextPro.com. We say good night from Houston.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.